what is the biggest key for a UConn upset?
Big plays offensively. They've got to make big plays. They did it early and often against Central. They scored from 80 out, 12 yards out, 20 out. They had an 81-yard touchdown that was called back. UConn has explosive playmakers. They have Skylar Bell. They have Cam Edwards. They have Mel Brown. Terrence Smith, a sleeper in this game. I'm not sure that Joe Fagnano and the offense can get the ball matriculated down the field with 10, 12, 14 play drives. If they're going to score under Gordon Samus, offensive coordinator, it has to be through big plays. So if UConn is going to go there and win, they're a 6.5-point dog. They've got to make big plays explosively. To me, that is the key in this game because defensively, they're going to give up yards. They're going to give up points. You better be able to match that with explosive plays. If they do that, they can win this game against Syracuse. How about on the Syracuse side, Jackson? What's their key to holding serve at home and, as you said, winning a must-win game against these Huskies?
Syracuse is the favorite team. I think Syracuse should go out and win this game against UConn. They have more talent on paper than UConn. But, you know, the best team on paper does not always win. And sometimes the best team on paper loses because they give the other team freebies. So Syracuse, their biggest key to holding serve at home and getting this must-win game, no gifts to UConn. Make UConn beat Syracuse. Don't let Syracuse beat itself. If we have to come on here on Saturday and say, you know what, the UConn Huskies are just a better team than Syracuse, it's going to drive me nuts. It's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to have to tip my cap, though, and say, you know what, so be it. They're better. But my goodness, you do not want to see me. You do not want to tune in if Syracuse is beating itself with dumb penalties, miscommunication on the offensive line, because against Tennessee, the offensive line actually held up when they all understood their assignments. And I'm willing to give them a pass because it was week 1, brand new offensive line, very good Tennessee front out there, but there was a lot of miscommunication as well, which led to free rushers. And I don't care who you're going up against. If you have miscommunication, that's going to lead to free rushers on anyone. And I'm sorry, UConn linebackers, UConn defensive linemen can also sack Steve Angeli. Like that can happen, right? These are Division I football players that are also getting paid. So if you're Syracuse, you cannot give them any gifts. You can't give missed tackles. And if you're going to have missed tackles, limit the impact of them. 2-yard play becomes a 4-yard play. Fine. But no more 2-yard play, negative 4-yard play becomes 47-yard run at the end of the half. That simply cannot happen for Syracuse to win this game against UConn.
All right, so when you go on Saturday and recap all things Syracuse and UConn, they're going to play at noon on Saturday there in your building. Give me a prediction. What will you be talking about? What's the final score in this game on Saturday afternoon?
I think, honestly, it's going to be similar to Tennessee, where we're going to have a lot of questions still about this defense, because I think that this defense will allow some points to UConn. They did last year against UConn, but the Syracuse offense going up against a little bit lesser of a defense than Tennessee last week, they will be able to outscore their problems on defense. So I am picking Syracuse to win this game, and I think they're going to score 40. So we'll go 42-33. A weird score, but 42-33 inside the dome.
I like the way you said that. And actually, it's kind of funny because I was thinking the same thing. Like, if UConn's going to win, they're going to have to outscore like their defense. Like, they're going to have to score enough points because their defense is going to give up. I didn't have that as a higher scoring game because I was factoring in something you had said earlier and something I've noticed with these Syracuse offense. Like, they do have these long drives. And I do think they can, against an undersized defense of UConn, if they want to, they can control the ball a little bit. It's a short week for them. They have Colgate on Friday. I wonder if they can run the football early and establish that run against UConn. They might try to run it more. But I think offensively, UConn can make plays. I think that Gordon Samus, the coordinator, kept something in his back pocket. Skylar Bell didn't play in the second half of that game. I think there's more to this UConn offense. I think they put up a record number of yards in week 1, and they might not do that again on the road in Syracuse, but they can do enough offensively to make plays. And I believe in this offense, not as much as you do. You have a high scoring game. It's one of those things where you hear it. I may be way off. I have it as a tight one, 30-28. UConn wins the game outright. They certainly, if they don't win, I think they're going to cover the 6.5 points, courtesy of FanDuel. You've seen all week the money come in on UConn. I think it's been smart money with the Huskies, but I think just enough offense. Bell and Edwards make just enough plays And that must-win game for Syracuse is a loss, and they are just sleepwalking into a Colgate game on Friday. I didn't realize
it's not going to be a fun Colgate game on Friday for Syracuse if they lose to UConn. The one thing I'll say about your prediction is I would be surprised if Syracuse scored less than 30. So I think in order for UConn to win this game, I think the threshold has to be 35 at minimum, which they can do because I don't really have a lot of confidence.
24 last year. It was a good game last year, 31-24.
Exactly. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a little bit more high scoring. I have faith in this Syracuse offense. Not as much in the defense, but the offense will be able to outscore their problems. Mike, on the other hand, he's picking an upset with UConn beating Syracuse 30-28 on a last-second field goal.
No, Syracuse has the ball late. They're driving with a chance to get there. They get some bad turnover, clock runs out. But Syracuse has a chance to win, and they can't get it done. And UConn holds on in the end.
See, you had me, but all you had to say is miss field goal because field goal kicking is definitely a concern for Syracuse. But we did not get to see that in week 1 against Tennessee.